I'm sitting in my living room at 11:45 at night, staring at the message on my phone from my daughter-in-law Jessica. The words burn into my mind. It's over. We've decided you're no longer part of the family. Don't come to Day of the Dead or any family gatherings. Below it, my son Daniel has liked the message. My hands shake as I open my banking app. I've been supporting them for 3 years. Mortgage, car payments, credit cards, groceries. At exactly midnight, I cancel every single automatic payment. All 16 of them. The confirmation emails start flooding my inbox at 12:03 in the morning. Each one feels like cutting a cord that's been strangling me. Payment to First National Bank, canceled. Payment to Toyota Financial, canceled. Payment to Chase Credit Card, canceled. I watch them pile up in my phone, one after another, and I'm not crying. I thought I would be, but I'm not. I'm just methodical. Click, confirm, done. Click, confirm, done. My house is dark except for the glow of my phone screen. This house that Edward and I bought 32 years ago, that we paid off together, that he left me when he died 4 years ago along with his life insurance policy and our modest savings. This house where I raised Daniel, where I thought I'd grow old surrounded by family and grandchildren and love. 3 years ago, Daniel and Jessica bought a house in the foothills they absolutely could not afford. Jessica was 6 months pregnant with Sophie, glowing and excited, and they were so proud of that house with its mountain views and its gourmet kitchen. 2 months after they moved in, they came to me. Just temporarily, they said. Just until Jessica goes back to work after the baby. Just to help with a few bills. Temporary became permanent, so gradually I didn't notice it happening. First it was the mortgage, $2,800 a month. Then Jessica decided she couldn't possibly leave Sophie in daycare, so she stayed home. And could I help with one of the car payments? $650 a month. Then the other car payment, $480. Then groceries, because formula is so expensive, $800 a month. Then utilities, because the house is big and Arizona summers are brutal, $400 a month. Then insurance, because they'd let it lapse, $350 a month. Then the credit cards, just the minimum payments, because they'd gotten behind, $890 a month across 3 cards. Then Jessica's salon visits, because she was struggling with postpartum depression and she needed something for herself, $200 a month. Then the gym memberships, because they needed to stay healthy for Sophie, $120 a month. Then the streaming services, because everybody has those, $80 a month. Then Sophie's private preschool, because the public ones had waiting lists, $950 a month. I added it up once, on a sleepless night 6 months ago, just over $8,000 a month. From my Social Security, from Edward's pension, from the life insurance money that was supposed to last me through my old age. But they were my family, my only family. After Edward died, they were all I had. And Sophie. God, Sophie. That little girl with Edward's dark eyes and his laugh. She's 3 years old now, smart as a whip, calls me Grandma Amina in this sweet voice that makes my heart ache. I thought if I helped them, if I made myself necessary, I'd always have a place in their lives. I'd always be needed. I'd never be alone. Last week, I asked if I could host Day of the Dead at my house this year. Edward was Mexican-American, taught me all the traditions, and after he died, I've kept them alive. I wanted to build the altar, make his favorite foods, teach Sophie about her great-grandfather. Jessica said no. They were doing it at their house. Immediate family only. I reminded her I am immediate family. I'm Daniel's mother, Sophie's grandmother. She got cold, changed the subject. Since then, ignored calls. Short texts. Always an excuse why I couldn't see Sophie. Busy. Not feeling well. Sophie's napping. Maybe next week. Tonight's message was the finale. You're no longer part of the family. My phone starts ringing at 12:07. Daniel. I stare at his name on the screen. He liked that message. He agreed with it. Agreed I should be cut off, thrown away, erased from their lives after 3 years of funding every aspect of their existence. I don't answer. He calls again. 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 Text from Daniel appears. Mom, what did you do? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Then Jessica. Amina, this is not funny. Turn the payments back on right now. More calls. My phone buzzes against my palm like an angry wasp. I watch it until the screen goes dark, then I power it off completely. I go to bed in the silent house, and for the first time in 3 years, I sleep soundly. Morning light wakes me at 7:30. I lie there for a moment, feeling strangely peaceful, before I remember. I turn on my phone and watch it explode with notifications. 53 missed calls. 38 text messages. I read them chronologically while I make coffee. They start angry. What did you do? Turn them back on now. This is ridiculous. Then confused. Mom, please call us. We need to talk about this. Then panicked. Everything is bouncing. The mortgage payment didn't go through. Mom, please. Then desperate. We have no savings. Everything is due. You're killing us. And then, at 4:37 this morning, a text from Jessica that makes my blood run cold. It wasn't sent to me. It was sent to someone named Marcus, but she must have been scrolling contacts in a panic and hit my name by mistake. That old woman finally did it. We're screwed. How are we going to make the payments? Question mark. Everything bounces tomorrow, and Marcus is coming over tonight to see what we owe him. I read it 3 times. Marcus. Payments. What we owe him. I'd been supporting them with $8,000 a month, and they still owed money to someone else. Someone who was coming over to see what they owed him. That phrasing. That tone. This wasn't a friend. This was something else. I sit at my kitchen table, coffee cooling in my hands, and realize I didn't just cut off their funding. I didn't just stand up for myself. I put them in danger. And maybe I put myself in danger too. Because if they owe this Marcus person money, and they can't pay, what happens next? My phone rings. Daniel again. This time, I answer. 2 days later, they show up at my door. I see them through the front window, pulling into my driveway in the Lexus I've been making payments on for 2 years. Daniel gets out first, then Jessica, and then my heart breaks a little because they've brought Sophie. I open the door before they can knock. Sophie squeals and runs to me, wrapping her little arms around my legs. Grandma Amina. I want to scoop her up, but I don't. I just put my hand on her soft hair and look at my son. He looks terrible. Dark circles under his eyes. Unshaven, wrinkled shirt. Jessica looks perfect, as always. Hair blown out, makeup flawless, designer purse on her arm. That purse probably cost $800. I know because I've been funding her shopping. Can we come in? Daniel asks. I step back and let them enter. Sophie runs to the living room where I keep toys for her. Daniel and Jessica sit on my couch, and the way they're positioned, side by side, united front, tells me this is a planned approach. Mom, Daniel starts, and his voice is gentle, conciliatory. We overreacted. We were stressed. You know we love you. Jessica nods, reaches over and puts her hand on his knee. We've been under so much pressure. Money stuff. You know how it is. We said things we didn't mean. You wrote that I'm no longer part of the family, I say quietly. And Daniel, you liked the message. You agreed with it. He has the grace to look ashamed. I was angry. You were always pushing, always wanting to come over, always asking to see Sophie. We felt suffocated. Suffocated. By a grandmother who loves her family, who funded their entire life. Sophie asks for you every day, Jessica says, and her voice has this wounded quality that I recognize now. Manipulation. She cries for Grandma Amina. It breaks my heart. We don't want to keep you apart. Then why did you tell me not to come for Day of the Dead? We just needed space, Jessica says. To figure things out. To stand on our own 2 feet. You understand that, don't you? We need to be independent. I look at her. Really look at her. She's 29 years old, beautiful, charming. Daniel met her 5 years ago at a conference in Phoenix. She was working hospitality. He was attending for his company. She swept him off his feet. They were married within 8 months. I barely knew her when they got engaged, but Daniel was so happy, I didn't ask the questions I should have. "Who is Marcus?" I ask. They both freeze. The silence stretches for 5 long seconds. Jessica recovers first. She laughs, light and dismissive. "Marcus? He's just a friend." "Why? You sent me a text by mistake. About how you owe him money. About how he's coming over to see what you owe him." Daniel's face goes pale. Jessica's smile doesn't waver, but her eyes get hard. "You misread it," she says. "Just a friend we borrowed a little money from. Nothing serious." I stand up, walk to my desk, and pull out the folder I've been preparing since yesterday. My lawyer friend Thomas helped me. Bank statements, credit card statements, payment histories. I spread them on the coffee table. "I've been reviewing my records," I say. "The mortgage payment I've been sending every month, that goes to the bank. But you took out a second mortgage 6 months ago. $85,000. I was paying the first mortgage, you got cash from the second. What did you spend it on?" They stare at the papers. Sophie's playing with blocks in the corner, singing to herself, oblivious. "The credit cards I've been paying minimums on. I called the companies. The balances total $67,000. In 3 years, you accumulated $67,000 in credit card debt while I was paying for everything you needed. What did you buy?" "Mum," Danielle starts. "There are accounts I didn't know about. Store cards, personal loans. I want the truth. Right now, who is Marcus and what do you owe him?" Daniel breaks. I watch it happen. His face crumples, his shoulders slump, and he puts his head in his hands. Jessica shoots him a furious look, but it's too late. "We've been gambling," he says, voice muffled. Jessica has a problem. Shopping. The credit cards, that's all her. And I started playing poker online, trying to win enough to cover her spending, and I just got in deeper. "We're in so much trouble, Mom." "Marcus is a loan shark," Jessica says flatly, giving up the pretense. "I borrowed $30,000 from him when the credit cards maxed out. He charges interest. Weekly. We owe him almost $50,000 now. He's not a nice man." "Why didn't you tell me?" I ask. "Because you would have judged us," Jessica snaps. "You would have made us feel like failures. We needed help, not a lecture. I've been giving you $8,000 a month for 3 years. That's almost $300,000. If you'd told me the truth, we could have gotten you help. Treatment. Counseling." "We don't need counseling," Jessica says. "We need money." And there it is. The truth. They don't want a mother or a grandmother. They want a bank. I sit back down. "I'll help you," I say slowly, "but only on my terms." They lean forward, eager, desperate. "You sell the house. It's too expensive. You get something modest, something you can actually afford. You go to financial counseling. Both of you. Jessica, you get treatment for the shopping addiction. This has to stop." "Yes," Daniel says immediately. "Yes, we'll do it. Whatever you want." "Absolutely," Jessica agrees. "We'll start looking at houses this week." They're agreeing too fast. Too easily. After 3 years of bleeding me dry, after cutting me out of their lives, now they're suddenly compliant? They stay for another hour. Sophie sits in my lap while they talk about their plans. They're going to do better. Change. Turn their lives around. They just need me to turn the payments back on while they sort things out. Just temporarily. When they leave, Jessica kisses my cheek. Daniel hugs me. Sophie waves from her car seat. I watch them drive away in the Lexus I've been paying for. I'm about to close the door when I hear it. The window was open. Jessica's voice, low but clear, carrying from the driveway. "Just let her think we'll do it. We'll get her back on the payments, then block her out again. The old fool." I stand in my doorway, hand on the frame, feeling something inside me harden into steel. I text them before they've even reached the main road. I heard what Jessica said. The answer is no. To everything. Figure it out yourselves. Within seconds, my phone starts ringing. I block both their numbers. I block their email addresses. I'm done. I tried to help them. I tried to set boundaries while still being supportive, and my reward is being called an old fool. My solution just made things worse. Now they know I won't help, and they're desperate. And Marcus is still out there waiting for his money. But I'm done. Whatever happens next, they made their choices. The letter arrives 1 week later. Official law firm letterhead. Garrett and Associates. I open it with shaking hands. Daniel Martinez and Jessica Martinez are filing suit against Amina Martinez for breach of oral contract, grandparent alienation, and emotional distress. They are seeking $150,000 in damages for your failure to honor verbal agreements to provide financial support. Additionally, a restraining order has been filed due to your pattern of harassment and unstable behavior toward our clients. I read it 3 times before the words make sense. They're suing me for stopping the payments, for standing up for myself, and they're claiming I've been harassing them. There's a court date, 2 weeks away, for the restraining order hearing. I call Thomas immediately. He's been my lawyer and friend since Edward was alive, handled our wills, our estate planning. He's 72 years old, semi-retired, but he agrees to see me that afternoon. It's garbage, he says after reviewing the letter. Verbal contracts for family support aren't enforceable like this. You were gifting them money. You can stop any time. They have no case. Then why are they doing this? Intimidation. They're trying to scare you into paying again. He flips to the second page. The restraining order is more concerning. If a judge grants it, you can't contact them. Can't see your granddaughter. But I haven't done anything. Doesn't matter. They just need to convince a judge you might. Let me make some calls. He calls me back 2 hours later. I know the lawyer. Garrett. He's Jessica's brother. Everything clicks into place. Family connection. That's why they felt confident enough to try this. It's a bullying tactic, Thomas continues. He knows the suit won't hold up, but he also knows it'll cost you money and stress to fight it. And the restraining order, that's about control. If they can keep you away from Sophie, they have leverage. The hearing is on a Thursday morning. I dress carefully in a navy blue dress, pearls Edward gave me for our 30th anniversary. I want to look stable, respectable, sane. The courthouse is cold. Daniel and Jessica sit on the other side with her brother, heads together, whispering. Jessica is wearing a modest dress, minimal makeup. She looks young, vulnerable, scared. It's a performance. When the hearing starts, they present their evidence. Text messages I sent, but edited to remove context, making my requests to see Sophie sound demanding, threatening. A claim I showed up at their house screaming, which never happened. Jessica cries while describing how I've been stalking them, how frightened she is, how she just wants to protect her daughter from my erratic behavior. Daniel testifies that I've been obsessive about Sophie, that I call constantly, that I can't accept boundaries. He doesn't mention the $300,000. Neither does Jessica. My lawyer presents our side. The text messages in full context. Phone records showing I haven't called excessively. Statements from my neighbors about my character. But the judge looks skeptical. I'm going to grant a temporary restraining order, she says. Mrs. Martinez, you are to have no contact with Daniel or Jessica Martinez for 30 days, pending a full hearing. That includes no contact with the minor child Sophie. I feel the floor drop out from under me. Your Honor, please. 30 days, the judge repeats. If you violate this order, you'll be held in contempt. Full hearing is scheduled for December 15th. We file out of the courtroom. I tried to stand up for myself, tried to protect myself from being used, and now I've lost access to my granddaughter. The solution created a worse problem. I'm walking to my car, Thomas beside me talking about appeal options, when I see him. A man leaning against a silver Mercedes across the street, well-dressed, expensive suit, watching me. He crosses the street as I reach my car. Thomas tenses beside me. "Mrs. Martinez," the man says. His voice is soft, educated. "I'm Marcus. My keys are in my hand." I consider getting in the car, locking the doors, driving away. But something tells me running won't help. "I know what they did to you," Marcus says. "I know they cut you off, took you to court. I know they've been using you for money they can't pay back. But here's what you don't know." He pulls out a folder from his car, opens it, shows me documents. "Jessica took out that loan in your name, used your identity, your social security number, your address. That's your signature, or a very good forgery. According to these papers, you're the one who owes me $30,000. Well, with interest, it's $45,000 now. And if they don't pay, I'm coming after you." I stare at the papers. My name, my information. The signature looks exactly like mine. "That's fraud," Thomas says. "She forged." "Prove it," Marcus says pleasantly. "Prove you didn't sign these. Prove you didn't take my money. Meanwhile, I've got legal documents that say you owe me. And I'm a patient man, but my patience has limits. 2 weeks, Mrs. Martinez. $45,000. Or, I put a lien on that nice house of yours." He gets back in his Mercedes and drives away. I stand in the courthouse parking lot, shaking. I tried to protect myself from Daniel and Jessica by cutting them off. That led to the lawsuit. I tried to defend myself in court. That led to a restraining order. And now I've discovered they didn't just use me. They framed me. They made me responsible for their debts to a loan shark. Every solution creates a worse crisis. And I don't know how to make it stop. 2 weeks pass like a nightmare. The social media campaign starts small. A post from Jessica on her Facebook page. It's carefully worded, no names mentioned, but anyone who knows us will recognize the situation. When family members use money to control and manipulate, when they can't accept healthy boundaries, when they punish you for trying to live your own life. Heartbroken doesn't even begin to cover it. Please pray for my family. The post gets shared, commented on. Jessica's friends pile on with support. "So sorry you're going through this. Toxic family members are the worst. You deserve better." Then another post. This one with a screenshot of a text message I sent. It's real, but the context is removed. The text says, "Please, I just want to see her. Let me see Sophie." Without context, it looks obsessive, desperate, unhinged, heartbreaking when your child's grandmother can't respect a simple boundary. "We've asked for space. She won't stop. I'm scared for my daughter's safety." That post goes viral in our local community, shared hundreds of times. Comments fill with people I don't even know, calling me controlling, abusive, crazy. Several people I do know, friends from church, neighbors, comment their support for Jessica. We always thought something was off about her. I try to defend myself, post my side. I've been supporting them financially for 3 years. They cut me off from my granddaughter after I stopped enabling their spending. Here are the bank statements. It backfires spectacularly. The comments turn vicious. This is exactly the behavior they're talking about. You're trying to use money to control them. You're making their trauma about you. Posting bank statements is abuse. Thomas calls me. Delete everything. Stop engaging. You're making it worse. But the damage is done. Screenshots of my posts are everywhere. I delete my accounts, but it doesn't matter. The images spread. Amina Martinez, the controlling grandmother who tried to buy love and is now punishing her family for setting boundaries. At church on Sunday, people are cold. I've been a member for 12 years, volunteer in the food pantry, help with funeral receptions. Sister Margaret takes me aside after service. "Amina, maybe it's best if you step back from volunteer work for a while. Until things settle down." You believe what they're saying? I don't know what to believe. But there's a lot of talk, and we need to protect the church community. I drive home and find toxic spray painted on my garage door in red letters. My neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, is in her yard, sees me see it, and goes inside without a word. The police take a report but say there's little they can do. Probably kids. They'll increase patrols. That night, I work with Thomas on the identity theft claim. We file a police report about Marcus's loan. Detective Williams takes our statement, reviews the documents. The signature looks real, he says. It's forged. I never signed anything for a loan shark. Can you prove that? How do I prove I didn't do something? He's sympathetic but not optimistic. We'll investigate. But these cases are tough. It's your word against documents. Over the next week, Thomas's investigator digs deeper. What he finds is worse than I imagined. There are 3 other victims. Mary Chen, 71, a friend of Jessica's mother. She has mysterious credit card debt she doesn't remember opening. Patricia Morgan, 68, a woman from Jessica's old church in Phoenix. She has a home equity loan she never took out. Helen Foster, 74, Jessica's former neighbor. She has medical bills from procedures she never had. All of them trusted Jessica. All gave her access to personal information, documents, to help with paperwork or because they were family friends. All have debt they didn't create. Thomas brings me the file. She's done this before. Multiple times. She's a con artist. Does Daniel know? I don't think so. I think he's a victim too. She married him to get to you. I try to tell Daniel. I drive to his house, forgetting about the restraining order until I'm already pulling up. He comes out, sees me, and his face closes off. You're violating the order. I should call the police. Daniel, please. Listen to me. Jessica has done this to other people. She's committed identity theft against multiple elderly women. She's a con artist. Get off my property. I have proof. Please, just look at. The door opens. Jessica stands there. And even from the driveway, I can see the triumph in her eyes. Daniel, go inside, she says sweetly. I'll handle this. He goes. She walks down the driveway toward me. I back up toward my car. You're desperate, she says quietly. Making up lies about me now? Daniel will never believe you. And every time you try this, you prove how unstable you are. There are other victims. The police are investigating. She smiles. By the time they figure anything out, I'll be gone. But you? You'll still be here, broke and alone and cut off from your granddaughter. You should have just kept paying. I get in my car and drive away. When I get home, there's an envelope on my door. No stamp. Hand-delivered. Inside is a single sheet of paper. Daniel is serving Jessica with divorce papers. She's leaving him, taking Sophie, filing for full custody with supervised visitation only. She's cutting him out too. And attached is a note in her handwriting. This is your fault. You pushed me to this. Every action has consequences. My phone rings. Daniel, I answer. I hope you're happy, he says, and his voice is shattered. She's leaving me, taking my daughter, filing papers that say I'm an unfit father. And she says it's because of your harassment that she can't handle the stress anymore. You've destroyed my life. I never want to see you again. He hangs up. I sit in my living room, surrounded by the wreckage of my life. My reputation is destroyed. My son hates me. My granddaughter is disappearing. I'm facing debt I didn't create and legal battles I can't afford. Every time I try to fix things, they get worse. Every solution creates a bigger crisis. And I'm running out of options. Thanksgiving comes. I spend it alone. Last year, we were all together at Daniel and Jessica's house. Sophie helped me make cornbread dressing, getting flour all over her face. Daniel carved the turkey. Jessica took pictures for social media, all of us smiling. This year, my phone stays silent. The house is silent. I make a sandwich and watch old movies and try not to think about how completely I've lost everything. Marcus shows up the next day. He knocks on my door at 9 in the morning. When I don't answer, he calls through the mail slot. Mrs. Martinez, we need to talk about payment. Today. I call the police. They come, take a report, tell Marcus to leave. He goes, but not before telling the officers, I have legal documents that say she owes me money. I'm just trying to collect what's due. After they leave, Thomas calls. The financial crimes unit is moving slowly. These cases are low priority. It could be months before they even interview Jessica. Marcus says he'll put a lien on my house. He might be able to. Those documents, even if they're fraudulent, give him legal standing until we prove fraud. And that takes time. I could lose my house. Possibly. I hang up and walk through the rooms Edward and I filled with 32 years of life. Our bedroom. The kitchen where we cooked together. The living room where we watched Daniel grow up. The garden Edward planted. That I've maintained since he died. I could pay Marcus. I have enough left in savings. Barely. It would wipe me out, leave me with almost nothing, but it would make him go away. Or I could fight, knowing I might lose everything anyway. My doorbell rings that evening. I almost don't answer, afraid it's Marcus again. But when I peek through the window, I see an older woman I don't recognize. I open the door cautiously. Mrs. Martinez? I'm Carol Henderson. I'm one of the other women Jessica defrauded. Can I come in? We sit at my kitchen table. Carol is 73, sharp-eyed, with short gray hair and the kind of presence that commands attention. I've been investigating Jessica for 2 years, she says. Ever since I discovered she took out credit cards in my name. I'm an accountant, retired. I know how to follow money trails. She opens a briefcase and pulls out files. Thick files. Jessica's real name isn't Jessica Martinez. It's Jessica Brennan. She's wanted in Colorado and New Mexico for elder fraud. She's been married 3 times before, each time to a man with a widowed mother or elderly relatives. She befriends them, gets access to personal information, bleeds them dry, and disappears. She shows me documents, police reports, court filings, photographs of Jessica with different names. Daniel isn't a perpetrator, Carol continues. He's a victim. She targeted him specifically because his mother was recently widowed with life insurance money. She's done this before, twice. 2 other sons, 2 other mothers. One of them lost her house. The other one committed suicide. The room spins. Suicide? Depression. Isolation. Financial ruin. She couldn't handle it. Carol's voice is gentle. I'm telling you this not to scare you, but because you need to understand who we're dealing with. Jessica is a professional. This is what she does. How do we stop her? I've been gathering evidence. Bank records, witness statements, pattern analysis. I have enough to prove fraud, but I need her to make a mistake. I need her on record admitting what she's done. How? Carol looks at me carefully. You confront her. Wearing a wire. You offer to pay off Marcus. Say it's for Daniel's sake. Get her to admit to the identity theft, the fraud, the pattern. Everything. She'll never admit it. She might. If she thinks she's won. If she thinks you're broken and she's gotten away with it. Narcissists love to gloat. What if she realizes I'm wearing a wire? Then she disappears, and we never get justice. And she does this to someone else. I sit with that, the danger, the risk, the possibility of losing even more. There's something else you should know, Carol says. I found a rental application. Phoenix. Different name. Different identity. She's planning to run. Soon. Probably within a week. If we don't act now, she's gone. What about Marcus? The police will handle him once we prove the fraud. He's a criminal, but he's also a businessman. He'll make a deal to avoid charges. That night, I lie awake weighing my options. Stay safe. Let Jessica win. Lose everything anyway. Or risk the confrontation. Risk everything on one chance at justice. The next morning, I call Carol. I'll do it. 2 days later, I'm sitting in a police station while a technician fits me with a recording device. It's smaller than I expected. Clips to my bra, microphone hidden in my necklace. Detective Williams briefs me on what to say, what to avoid. Don't accuse her directly. Ask questions. Let her talk. If she admits to anything on tape, we can use it. My hands are shaking. Carol squeezes them. You can do this. I text Jessica through a burner phone, from an account she doesn't know is blocked. I say I want to meet. I'll pay Marcus. For Daniel's sake, please, can we talk? She agrees immediately. Tomorrow, coffee shop on River Road. Noon. I don't sleep that night. I run through scenarios, practice questions, imagine all the ways this could go wrong. By morning, I'm exhausted and terrified and determined. This is my last chance. If this fails, Jessica wins. She takes Sophie and disappears, and I never see my granddaughter again. Daniel loses his daughter. The other victims never get justice. I have to make this work, no matter what it costs me. The coffee shop is crowded, which is good. Witnesses. Safety in numbers. Carol sits 3 tables away, pretending to read a book. Police are in an unmarked van outside, monitoring the wire. Jessica arrives exactly on time. She's wearing designer jeans and a cashmere sweater. She looks rested, confident, happy. Amina, she says, sitting down across from me. I'm glad you reached out. My coffee cup rattles against the saucer. I want to make this right. For Daniel's sake. Of course you do. She smiles. You always were soft-hearted. It's one of the things that made you so easy. Easy. Like I was a mark. Which I was. I'll pay Marcus, I say. However much you owe, I'll take care of it, but I need to know the full amount. How much do you actually owe him? 45,000, she says casually. Though if you wait much longer, it'll be 50. And he'll leave you alone? Leave Daniel alone? That's the deal. You pay, we're clear. Did you really take out the loan in my name? She studies me for a moment. Does it matter? I need to know what I'm paying for. If it's in my name, then legally. Yes, she interrupts. I used your information. It was easy. You gave me your social security number to put me on Sophie's insurance. I had your signature from a birthday card. Marcus didn't care whose name was on the paperwork as long as someone paid. She's admitting it. On tape, I force myself to stay calm, keep my voice steady. Why did you need the money from Marcus when I was already paying for everything? Because you weren't paying for enough. She leans back, relaxed. The credit cards were maxed. The second mortgage was gone. I needed more, and you were already getting suspicious. Asking questions. Marcus was easier. What did you spend it on? Does it matter? Clothes, mostly. Some trips. I like nice things, Amina. I've always liked nice things. And Daniel's salary doesn't cover nice things. Neither did his father's, or Marcus's before him. Marcus before Daniel? She laughs. Not that Marcus. Different Marcus. Husband number 2. His mother was loaded. House in Albuquerque, rental properties, investments. I cleared out about 400,000 before she caught on. You've done this before. Sweetie, I've been doing this since I was 23. You're number 4. Well, 5 if you count Marcus's mother, but that one ended badly. She got lawyers involved before I could finish. She's gloating. Actually gloating. The wire is catching every word. What about Daniel? Does he know? Daniel is an idiot. He believes whatever I tell him. They all do. That's the secret, Amina. Find a lonely man with a recently widowed mother. The mother is vulnerable, desperate for family, willing to do anything to keep her son close. The son is grieving, looking for comfort. I swoop in, become everything they need, and then I drain them dry. You never loved him. Of course not. Do you know how boring Daniel is? How tedious your family dinners were? How mind-numbing it was to watch you and Edward with your little traditions and your cozy house and your stupid Day of the Dead altars. She rolls her eyes. But boring men with wealthy mothers are the easiest targets. They're so grateful someone young and pretty wants them. I feel sick. And Sophie? Sophie was part of the plan. Babies create attachment. Make the grandmother desperate to be involved. You should see yourself, Amina, the way you looked at that child. I knew I could squeeze you for years. Why cut me off when you did? Because you were running out of money. and I'd already set up the next target. Time to move on. Daniel can have his stupid divorce. I don't care. I'm taking Sophie to Phoenix, meeting someone new, starting over. His mother just lost her husband. Cancer. Left her 2.3 million. She's lonely. Perfect. She's laying it all out. Every detail. Every crime. My hand drifts to my necklace. An unconscious gesture. Jessica's eyes follow the movement, narrow slightly. That's a pretty necklace, she says slowly. Is it new? My heart stops. No, I've had it for years. She stares at it. At me. Her expression changes. Stand up. What? Stand up. Right now. People are looking. Carol has put down her book. I don't stand. Jessica reaches across the table, grabs my collar, pulls. The necklace comes away in her hand, and she sees it. The tiny microphone. You. Her face contorts. She throws the necklace down and runs. She's fast. Out of the coffee shop before I can react. Carol is up, moving. I'm frozen. The door bangs open as police rush in from outside, but Jessica is already gone, racing through the parking lot. I run outside in time to see her car peeling out, tires squealing. Police cars give chase, but she's already turning onto the main road, disappearing into traffic. The operation is blown. We got the confession, but we lost her. Detective Williams is on his radio, calling it in. Suspect is fleeing southbound on River Road. Black Audi, Arizona plates. He turns to me. Did she admit to everything? Yes. All of it. Then we have enough for a warrant. We'll find her. But I'm not thinking about warrants. I'm thinking about Sophie. If Jessica runs, she takes Sophie with her. Daniel will never see his daughter again. I'll never see my granddaughter. Carol puts her arm around me. You did good. We got her on tape. I don't feel good. I feel like I've failed. We're standing in the parking lot when I see the silver Mercedes pull up. Marcus gets out, walks straight to me. That was quite a show, he says. He was watching. The whole time. I don't have your money, I tell him. And I never will. It's fraud. You'll have to take it up with Jessica. Oh, I know, he says. I heard everything. Everybody did. Your wire broadcast to the police van, but I've got a scanner. Jessica played me too, used me to pressure you. I don't like being used. So what now? Now I make a deal with the cops. I testify against Jessica. They give me immunity, business. He looks at me, and there's something almost like respect in his eyes. You've got guts, lady. Most people fold. He gets back in his car and drives away. Detective Williams is already on the phone with the prosecutor's office. We go to the police station. I give a formal statement. They have the recording. They issue a warrant for Jessica's arrest. All points bulletin. She's wanted for identity theft, fraud, child endangerment. But hours pass, and there's no sign of her. She's vanished. I'm sitting in the police station at 6 p.m. when Thomas arrives with Daniel. My son looks broken, destroyed. She's gone, he says. Took Sophie. Cleaned out the bank accounts, what little was left. There's a note. She's taking Sophie, and I'll never find them. He collapses into a chair, puts his head in his hands. You were right. About everything. And I didn't believe you. I helped her destroy you. I testified against you in court. And now she's taken my daughter and it's my fault. It's not your fault, I say. She's done this before. To other men, other families. She's a professional con artist. I have to find Sophie. Detective Williams joins us. We've got alerts out everywhere. Border Patrol, airports, bus stations. We'll find her. She's smart, Carol says quietly. She's been planning this. She has new identification, probably cash hidden. She could already be in Mexico. My phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Amina, Jessica's voice. That was a cute trick with the wire. Where's Sophie? With me. Where's she staying? I'm taking her somewhere you'll never find us. Somewhere Daniel will never find us. And there's nothing you can do about it. Jessica, please. She's 3 years old. She needs her father. She needs a mother who can provide for her. Which I can, as soon as I get settled in my new life. This is what you get, Amina. You should have just kept paying. None of this would have happened. You're wanted in 3 states. You can't run forever. Watch me. In the background, I hear it. Sophie's voice, crying. I want Grandma Amina. I want to go home. And Jessica snaps. Shut up. Just shut up. The viciousness in her voice. The pure cruelty. My granddaughter is sobbing, and this woman, this monster, is yelling at her. Jessica, don't hurt her. Please. I'll pay you. Whatever you want. Too late. You had your chance. She hangs up. The line is still being traced by police. They have the location. A gas station off Interstate 10, heading toward Phoenix. Daniel is on his feet. We have to go. Now. Detective Williams nods. We're already mobilizing units. I'm coming, I say. Mrs. Martinez. That's my granddaughter. I'm coming. We pile into cars. Police cars. Thomas's sedan. My old Honda. We race toward Phoenix. Lights flashing. Sirens wailing. The gas station is 45 minutes away. Jessica has a head start. She could be anywhere by now. But we have to try. We have to find Sophie. Because if Jessica disappears with her, if she crosses into Mexico or changes identities again, we might never see that little girl again. And it's my fault. My confrontation, my wire, my attempt to get justice. I pushed Jessica into running, into taking Sophie. Every solution I've tried has made things worse. And now my granddaughter is in danger because of me. We're racing through the darkness, and all I can think is, please let us find her. Please let Sophie be safe. Please let there be one thing I haven't destroyed. We reach the gas station at 7:43. Police cars are already there, surrounding a rental property behind the station. Small house, lights on inside. Jessica's Audi is parked out front. Detective Williams gets the call. She's inside, has the child. Says she'll run if we approach. Standoff. My worst nightmare. Daniel is beside me, gripping my hand so hard it hurts. Thomas is talking to the negotiator. Carol is on the phone with someone. I don't know who. We wait. 30 minutes. An hour. Neighbors are evacuated. The street is blocked off. Helicopter overhead. Then movement. The door opens. Jessica steps out, holding Sophie's hand. The little girl is crying, frightened. Jessica is yelling something at the police. Negotiator is on the megaphone. Let the child go. We can talk about this. There's nothing to talk about, Jessica screams. She's my daughter. You can't take her from me. Nobody wants to take her. We just want everyone safe. Sophie is trying to pull away. Jessica yanks her back, hard. Sophie screams. Daniel breaks. He runs toward them. Police try to stop him, but he's fast, desperate. Sophie, Daddy's here. Jessica sees him coming. She picks up Sophie and runs for the car, but she's not fast enough. Police move in. Daniel reaches them. Jessica shoves Sophie at him and tries to run, but officers are everywhere. She's tackled, handcuffed, screaming that this is illegal, that we're all going to pay, that her lawyer will destroy us. Daniel has Sophie in his arms. The little girl is sobbing, wrapping her arms around his neck. Daddy, I want to go home. We're going home, baby. We're going home. He approached slowly. Sophie says meh. Grandma Amina? I'm here, sweet girl. She reaches for me. Daniel passes her over, and I hold my granddaughter for the first time in 6 weeks. She's shaking, exhausted, scared, but she's safe. Jessica is being put into a police car. She's still yelling, but I don't listen. I just hold Sophie and rock her and tell her everything's going to be okay. The arrest leads to everything else unraveling. Jessica is charged with identity theft across multiple states, fraud, child endangerment, parental kidnapping attempt. Marcus, true to his word, testifies against her in exchange for immunity. The loan documents are proven fraudulent. Carol's evidence from 2 years of investigation fills in the gaps. The other victims come forward. The case is airtight. Jessica pleads guilty to avoid trial. Sentenced to 12 years in federal prison. The restraining order against me is vacated. It was based on false testimony. My name is cleared publicly. Daniel writes a statement, posts it on social media, explaining everything. How Jessica manipulated both of us. How I was trying to protect him and he couldn't see it. How he's sorry. The community response is mixed. Some people apologize. Some disappear, embarrassed. Some never speak to me again, and that's okay. I learn who my real friends are. Daniel sells the house. Gets a modest 3-bedroom in a good school district. Gets 2 jobs, works constantly, but he's managing. He's in therapy, working through the manipulation, the guilt, the grief of losing 3 years of his life to a lie. He's going to financial counseling, slowly rebuilding credit, paying off debt. We have Sunday dinners now. Daniel, Sophie, and me. Sometimes Thomas joins us. Sometimes Carol, who's become a friend. We cook together, eat together, talk about our week. Small things, normal things. Things I thought I'd lost forever. Sophie is in counseling too. She's young, resilient, but she remembers. We don't hide the truth from her. We tell her age-appropriate versions. Mommy made bad choices. Mommy has to be away for a long time. But Daddy and Grandma Amina love you so much. I don't give Daniel money anymore. I offer to babysit. I bring groceries sometimes, carefully. I help with Sophie's school supplies. I show up. I listen. But I don't fund his life. And he doesn't ask me to. He's learning to stand on his own, and I'm learning to let him. 6 months after Jessica's arrest, we build a Day of the Dead altar in my living room. Daniel, Sophie, and me. We put up pictures of Edward, his favorite foods, marigold flowers, papel picado that Sophie helped cut. I tell her stories about her great-grandfather, about how he loved to laugh, how he made the best tamales, how he would have adored her. Daniel puts his arm around me. I'm sorry, Mom, for everything, for not believing you, for letting her use you, for helping her hurt you. You were a victim too, but I chose her over you. I liked that message. I testified against you in court. I said terrible things. You were manipulated by a professional con artist. She's done this to others. It's what she does. Still, I should have known. I should have protected you. I look at him. My son. My beautiful, flawed human son who made mistakes and is trying to do better. We protect each other now, I say. That's what family does. Sophie is arranging sugar skulls on the altar, completely absorbed. Daniel watches her with such love it makes my chest ache. I almost lost her, he whispers. If you hadn't stood up to Jessica, if you hadn't fought back, I'd never have seen the truth. She'd have bled you dry, destroyed you, and taken Sophie anyway. You saved us, Mom. Even when we were working against you, you saved us. I think about that message. You're no longer part of the family. How it felt like the end of the world. How it was actually the beginning of saving us all. Because if I'd kept paying, kept enabling, Jessica would have destroyed us all eventually. She'd have taken everything and disappeared, leaving destruction in her wake. The other victims would never have gotten justice. Daniel would still be married to a con artist. Sophie would be growing up with a criminal. My choice to cut them off, as painful as it was, as much as it cost me, was the right choice. Not because it was easy, not because it felt good, but because love sometimes means boundaries. Real family sometimes means saying no. The lessons I learned are ones I'll carry forever. Money is not love. Enabling is not helping. Being needed is not the same as being valued. And standing up for yourself, even when it costs you everything, is sometimes the only way to save what matters most. Sophie finishes with the altar and comes to me. Grandma, did I do it right? You did it perfectly, sweet girl. Will great-grandpa Edward see it? In heaven? I think he will. And I think he's very proud of you. She hugs me, this precious child who almost disappeared, who's here now because we fought for her. because I refused to give up, because when it mattered most, I chose truth over comfort, justice over peace, fight over surrender. We stand together, the three of us, in front of the altar. A family broken and remade. Not perfect, not easy, but real, honest. Built on love instead of transaction, on truth instead of manipulation. And for the first time in 3 years, I feel at peace. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where setting boundaries with family felt like cutting them off? Where standing up for yourself meant risking everything you loved? How did you handle it? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, if it helped you feel less alone in your own struggles, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these stories and know they're not alone. And subscribe to this channel for more real stories about life's hardest moments and how we survive them. Because we all need to know that other people have walked these dark roads and found their way through. Share this with someone who might need to hear it. Someone who's struggling with toxic family dynamics, with financial manipulation, with the impossible choice between self-preservation and family loyalty. Let them know they're not alone. That standing up for yourself is not selfish. That boundaries are not betrayal. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being here, for caring, for taking the time to walk this journey with me. I hope you find the strength to set the boundaries you need, the courage to stand up for yourself, and the peace that comes from knowing your worth is not defined by what you can give others. May you find your own path to peace, whatever that looks like for you. And may you always remember that the family we choose, the family we build on truth and love, is worth fighting for. Take care of yourselves. You matter. Your story matters. And you deserve to be valued for who you are, not what you provide. Until next time.